Good morning, all you lovely people. It is week 30, episode 30 of Black Sheep Podcast. Another week, another cup of tea. This week we're going to do talk about something that is basically my whole life, and that is being the youngest. Being the youngest sibling, being the youngest cousin. And I feel like all of us who are the youngest in our families, we've lived similar lives from talking to other people. It seems like we've all lived similar lives. So yeah, in my family, I'm the youngest sibling. When it comes to cousins of my generation, I'm the youngest on one of my sides, and on the other side of my family, I'm the second youngest cousin. So yeah, man, as people like to call it, the baby of the family, it is what it is. People think there's a lot of being spoiled that comes with it. And here and there probably was. I'd say I was a spoiled child. If that was me being the youngest, or that was just people trying to get me to like them, who the fuck knows. So yeah, man, being the youngest. So what comes with it? Shit ton of hand-me-downs. Shit ton of hand-me-downs come with being the youngest. So, let's talk about it. My whole life has been a lot of hand-me-downs, especially as I've gotten older. When I got my first apartment, my whole place was furnished with hand-me-down furniture, decoration, whatever. Sofa, dining room table, just chairs. Everything was a hand-me-down from my stepdad and my mom. And don't get me wrong, I'm very appreciative of that. And look, I think a lot of people look down on hand-me-downs. They look down on, like, regifting things. I don't, man. If it works, if it does the job, if it is in good condition, I'll take it. A lot of people live their lives needing new shit. They need the newest and best of whatever the fuck it is. I don't. Again, have lived a very long life of hand-me-downs. Now, mind you, have I been spoiled with new things? Absolutely. First car, everybody who knows me knew my first car was a red Jeep Wrangler. That was my fire truck, right? I used to always call myself a fireman with that. And look, I never complained about things that were given to me. Was a red Jeep my choice? No. I remember I wanted a pickup truck. I wanted a blue F-150. God, that thing's beautiful. But I was told no. And I mean, look, I was told I was getting a Jeep Wrangler because one of my older siblings had a Jeep Wrangler. That comes with being the youngest, man. You're kind of in somebody else's shadow. If one person does something, people want you to do that exact same thing. So wasn't given an option. I was told I was getting a Jeep Wrangler. Thought I'd maybe have a choice of colors, so I said I wanted blue. I was told I'd get sick of blue. Not sure how I'd get sick of blue but not get sick of red, but it is what it is. Look, if you know me, you know I'm not one to complain. I'm very thankful for everything that's been given to me. So yeah, man, that's part of being the youngest. If you have an older sibling that had something, most likely you're gonna get that same thing, whether it be new or old. You're kind of living in people's footsteps, people's shadows. It is what it is. I think that's a big part of where the Black Sheep name came, is that being the youngest, you're expected to follow those who look good in other people's eyes, follow the path that other people want them to take. So, I think a big part was, let's talk about college. I have two siblings that finished college, did extra school, did what they wanted to do education-wise. I didn't finish college. I went to 2 years, said, fuck it, this isn't for me, and I left. I think that's a big part of where people started looking down on me. Another big part was when I turned 18 and got tattoos. You'll see nobody else in my family with tattoos. And you would think I fucking, I don't know, you would think I fucking murdered people or something with the way people act about my tattoos. Look, it's all part of the package. You're the youngest cousin, you're the youngest sibling. You're gonna be living in people's shadows. It is what it is. You're the first one to step away, do your own thing. You want to do music and theater instead of sports. You want to leave school and try to create stuff of your own instead of either following that education path or maybe going into something with a family or for whatever the fuck it is. You do you, man. I didn't really follow the path of anybody in my family. I think I'm looked down on for it. Again, it is what it is. I'm me, man. So yeah, that's life of being the youngest. So let's talk about, because I know, all families have different amount of kids. So look, let's be honest. First kid, probably always gonna have it the roughest, right? They're the first kid, parents are probably strict as hell on them. Second child, parents probably got the flow of things. They're probably still a little strict, but they got the flow of things. They probably let them slide a little things that the oldest wasn't able to slide with. And then there's the youngest. Not saying that I was never given a shit about, but I definitely probably got away with shit that my siblings weren't. I feel like that's the case with the youngest. The youngest, at that point, people are kind of just done with you, right? That's a big thing. Let's talk about that. Both family, cousins, whatever it is. You being the youngest, you're the last to do most things, right? You're probably the last to get married. I noticed a lot of energy and a lot of excitement when siblings and cousins were getting married. Everybody was so happy. Everybody was so looking forward to it. Maybe even helped them with it. My wedding, I mean, I had a little bit of support. A couple people here and there saying, "Hey, we're so excited. We're so happy for you." Blah blah blah. But for the most part, we didn't get that energy. We didn't get that, "Hey, oh my God, let me help you. Do you need help?" Like, we didn't get that from all the people that, like, siblings and cousins got it from. And again, I'm not saying nobody gave it to us, because there were definitely some supportive people. But there's like all these weddings that have happened. And I think people are just like done with it by the time the youngest gets married, right? I mean, same with having kids. I'm sure all the excitement that people had for cousins and siblings who had their kids, I doubt that'll be there for when I have a child of my own. It is what it is. I expect it. It's my life. I know how things go. Maybe it's part of being the youngest. Maybe it's because people don't approve of who I am and what I do. Who the fuck knows? I don't know, man. I think a big part of it is just, being the fucking baby of the family, as people say. I feel bad, though. I know some people are loner childs. They ain't got no siblings. Shit's probably rough as hell on them. Parents are probably strict as hell. I know a few fucking only childs. My wife being one. But man, just people don't know how to fucking cut ties. People don't know how to fucking let the baby birds out the nest. Jesus Christ. And I have friends that are only childs, and their parents. I mean, look, they're fucking grown ass adults now, still living with their parents, and the parents don't let them do shit. Fucking wild. So I feel bad for the only childs. Middle childs. Look, y'all probably have the easiest. If I'm being honest, I feel like middle childs have it the absolute easiest. I don't know one single person who is a middle child who does not have the easiest life. Prove me wrong. Would love to know. Would love to see it. I will say, the youngest is probably always the black sheep of the family. Again, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. I just feel like, again, you're the youngest. Your parents get you through what you gotta get through, and then you're on your own, man. Not saying they don't give a shit about you, but they're just done at that point. Again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but shout out to the youngest of the families, because I'm right there with you. Moral of the story to those who are the youngest of the family, fuck the whole, living in other people's shadows. If you got siblings or cousins who went off and did great things, went to college, went to extra school, fucking became doctors, lawyers, whatever the fuck it is. Fuck them. Who the fuck cares? If that's not you, it's not you. You don't gotta live behind them. Do your own fucking thing. That's why, and maybe we'll talk about this next week. That's why I loved where I went to school, because I was there my entire life. And even though I had family members older than me, in higher up grades and graduated before me, nobody in that school ever expected me to be like other people in my family. Let's talk about that next week. I like that. So, most people know I went to one school for 14 years. It was an all-boys school. And good God, they accepted me for me. Most people accepted me for me. Shit, bullying was a thing. People got in your head about certain things, whether it be what you're doing in school, how you're doing in school, what extracurriculars you're doing. Oh, you won't play sports. That's fucking weird. And then even outside of school, who you're dating, are you dating? God, fuck, shit. Let's talk about that. So again, to all my youngest of the family, fuck the people ahead of you. Fuck the people that want you to be a certain way. If they really cared that much about you, They'll love you for exactly who the fuck you are. You don't need to live in anybody else's shadows. Next week, we're going to talk about the 14 years I spent at a school that truly made me who the fuck I am. And I'm so thankful for that. So, as always, stay beautiful, don't judge people, don't be a dick, and peace out, Girl Scouts.